Guess I misjudged that a little bit, didn't I? I usually reset the clocks right before the live stream on Sunday mornings and reset the time because they drift a little bit. They're pretty accurate, but I guess I got them right on top of each other. I usually try and have them staggered a little bit so one goes off and then the other. Yeah, not this time. Oops. It's like that opening scene in Back to the Future where all the clocks are going off at the same time. Right, Bite? Good morning, Susan. Hey, John. It's cold. It's supposed to get cold. It's supposed to get into the into the 30s, I think, tonight. It's supposed to be like a high of like low 60s. It's windy out right now. I think I'm gonna have to go try and find Flash after the live stream because I may not put her in the house, but I at least want her in a box. Hey, Tracy, how are you? So, what are we going to talk about today? We haven't gotten that crazy, but it's supposed to get down near freezing. I think I might like cover some of the plants tonight just to be safe. Yeah, it's my buddy Bite. Guess we frame the shot up a little better here so you can see a little more of him, not just some head sitting on the bottom of the screen there. There isn't really a problem with it. She knows where to go, where not to be, and she's pretty good at staying away from places. Plus, the area that is primarily her habitat, where her cave is, and kind of her kind of chill place is the highest point in the yard. So it's never been a problem. I think it's I think it was that he wants the pets more than that because I mean he follows me around a lot and I don't give him treats all the time. He primarily gets treats here on the live stream, so he's just here for the attention. But he'll take some treats too. Got some new stuff actually a couple weeks ago. I had it here ready to show you last week, but no one asked. So got a few cool things here. If you watched the last live stream where I rearranged my collection, you of course saw this piece. And like I said, that one, I knew that was going to be a problem when I got it because it was going to turn the camera around here. I'm having problems dealing with the angles here. But yeah, I knew that was going to be a game changer. That was going to make me have to change the layout of the case. So yeah, we still did it. Yeah, that's a nice one. I like that one a lot. And I just saw these in the store, and these are actually both. Let me get them arranged here so I can show them to you in the best light. These are both actually the same kind of thing, but they're a little bit different from each other. And so, I said, well, I like this one, but I like this one too. It's like, which one am I taking? I looked at the price. It's like, oh man, they're almost nothing. I'm just going to take them both. Look at that though. I'm going to do one at a time here because I'm having problems dealing with. So that one's really pretty. A lot of quartz in that, and something called galena. Let's see if I can get this one angled just right here. There we go. You kind of see it reflects really nice. Kind of some flat surfaces. So I like stuff like that. And then, like I said, I like this one because this had more shaped surfaces on it. More cubes and triangles and stuff like that. I thought that was really cool. So I got that. And I saw this thing. Let's see, what's the best angle for this? Okay, we're going to start off. I saw this thing, and I was kind of turning it around here, and I saw there were these funny little holes in it. They're right there, and let's see. I have a difficult time doing it, but there's like a hole right in the middle, and you can see all sorts of crystal growth going on there. And I thought that was really kind of pretty. A lot of stuff here. It's just maybe kind of a normal or somewhat normal looking rock, but then you look at it close and it's like there's weird stuff going on inside of it. So I like stuff like that. This one is the one I used for the cover for the live stream today. I like that. That's amethyst and quartz. I think these black streaks here, and there's several of them. I think that's like tourmaline or something like that. And so I thought that was cool. And this is just an amethyst piece, but you can see all these weird little discolorations in the tips. When I got it, they couldn't even tell me what those little things were. They just called it unknown inclusions. And so anytime you get something that's unknown, you got to get that, right? So I like amethyst. Amethyst is pretty. And then finally, I guess I forgot to bring the black light with me, but I got this piece. This is kind of a piece of fluorite, and all those little blue spheres, they'll glow green when you hit it with a light. Like I said, I forgot to bring the flashlight. You'll just have to use your imagination, but I don't know. That's what I got. It was a good day. Yeah. If you watch the last video I did, I spent like actually it took me 2 days to shoot that video, and yeah, I got it all done. So I think I like it a lot better because one thing, it was a lot easier to find these new pieces because I say, okay, well that's amethyst, so that's going to be in the amethyst section. And it's like, oh, okay, this one is fluorite, so the fluorite's going to be in the fluorite section. And it just made it really easy. I latched onto all of it the second I looked at it. So I think it was a good idea to get everything organized. It definitely made it easy to find things. That you say is copper deposits? That's the green one, you mean? Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to go look. I got the names of everything that I get, so I can look it up and figure out what this stuff is. Yeah, I guess it is sort of like the Dewey Decimal System. It's just that I'm not using numbers or anything. That'd be an interesting way of doing it, though, wouldn't it? Well, I think rearranging everything together too, it helped me consolidate a lot because I was really seriously running out of room. And afterwards, when I when I got everything in its new place, it all just seemed to fit together better, and there was a lot of it seemed like there was a lot more spare free space. I think one of the best things I did is taking the large boulders and putting them all together, because that seems to take up a lot of room. If you have them separated a lot. Yeah, I actually put the uranium glass away. I put it in a cabinet because I used to have it in the UV cabinet with the rocks, but it got to the point where I had to move that out of there, to do it. But yeah, I love the uranium glass too. It's a nice collection. Hello, Gene. How are you? Yeah, I wasn't sure how I was going to do that, Susan. But since I had so much space on the floor, it just seems like, yeah, let's just do it that way. And then I had the idea of putting the masking tape down and writing what everything is. Yeah, that was a good. I think that worked out well. Like I said, I'm very happy with the results. Oh, and Mr. Bite came back. He walked off when we were talking about rocks, but he came back. He always does. Because in reality, it's all about the pets and it's all about the kitty treats, right? You like the kitty treats, don't you? Yes, you do. Then I wonder why I get bit, right? You're looking at the hand now. You know that's where your bread and butter is, don't you? Okay, that's enough. Yeah, yeah. I come up for a pet now, and now you think it's another treat. Well, one of my some of my favorite pieces that I have, Susan, are the ones that are dangerous somehow. I've got a couple of them that are poisonous. Got a couple of them that are mildly radioactive. That just kind of adds to the fun, I think, living on the wild side. Are you a doll pie? Guess that's better than being a cow pie, isn't it? Yeah, a little bit. Thank you, Tracy. Appreciate that. Hey, bye. Tracy just gave you some money. You see that? Yeah. You owe her a thank you. Thank you. Yeah, there you go. How often does that happen? Let's get him more in the shop. Yeah, she thinks you're a doll pie. Not sure what that is, but That's okay. They're hard to get out of here, aren't they? Guess that's how they trick you into using more than one. You know, you can't just reach in and grab one. No, you got to get a handful of them. That's a good marketing scheme. That's from Tracy, by the way. Okay. And then you drop half of it, you slob. I'll cover with cat drool. Yeah, the joys of owning a pet. All right, that's the last one for a while. You know what happens if you give you too much rich food, and next thing you know, you're barfing all over the house, right? I always wonder what it must be like to be Jeff Dunham's kids. I have something I'm thinking about, Lindex. I think the next move is into the cat room. You know, Bite's not getting any younger. I don't like thinking about that, but that's the truth, and that might be a good use for the room after that, and that would allow an enormous amount of increase in size. Yeah, that would be. I could totally see Jeff doing that. Ahmed is always my favorite character too. But there's a few of them that I like. Few of his characters I like. I like Peanut. Peanut annoyed me initially, but he's really funny. He makes me laugh. And I like Walter. Walter's awesome. Walter looks just like Joe Biden. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. In fact, I think for one of his Halloween specials, he had Walter go as Joe Biden for Halloween. Put the lid back on the treats here. Yeah, Jose Jalapeno and a skeek is good too. It's not that cold yet. It was in the mid 50s when I got up this morning. It's probably going to be to about the lower to mid 60s today, but we're going to go into the 30s tonight. So that's going to be pretty extreme. I don't think we're gonna freeze, but I'm thinking about covering the plants anyway. At least the ones in the backyard. I got some of those plants back there that are really more suitable for a tropical environment. Those hydrangeas, they like it warm and moist. They don't deal that well with the cold. But fortunately, I've been able to protect the part that's in the ground, and they come back every year. So that's been good so far. They've been able to that little section back there by the bird bath. Yeah, I'm even looking at the computer screen. From my perspective, it's down here, but it says that there's a freeze warning tonight. I still have problems dealing with a change that YouTube made to the live stream software. Um, they did it about 2 years ago, and I still haven't gotten the hang of it. It used to be when I would look at I'm looking at myself on the screen, and when I look at myself on the screen, it was like looking in a mirror. So that when I wanted to point to something in that direction, I just had to point in that direction. But now I'm looking at it the way I'm looking on the screen compared to what I'm actually doing is I'm pointing in opposite directions because it's flipping the image this way. And I have such a hard time getting a grasp on that because I keep thinking I'm looking in a mirror. And so if I want to point at the computer monitor, I'm going to point that direction because that's what I see. I'm pointing at the computer monitor right now from my perspective. But I'm not pointing the computer monitor from the way you're looking at things. It's weird, and I've never gotten a hang of that. Yeah, we have a lake here too, but I don't think our lake is big enough to affect snow. Just saying. I'm trying to get the yard a little bit prepared for the winter. We're starting to get to the point now where the leaves are dropping off the trees, and with this cold snap that's coming through here today and tomorrow, that's going to happen quite a bit. And so I want to try and keep up with it this year so the yard continues to look nice, and that means I'm going to have to get out and you know pick up the leaves a lot. What I usually do is I use the lawnmower as a vacuum, and that does a really good job, and it bags it for me, and it's just a good way of doing that. But I tried doing that last week, and I got a dead battery, so I got to go replace the battery today. I don't know. I haven't thought that far. Well, actually, I have thought that a little bit about that, Lindex. I don't know if I want to put the rocks hanging on the wall. because they're heavy. I think I want to build freestanding stuff like what I have now with with the shelves behind me, something that sits on the floor because the floor can support the weight. I don't know if the walls can. So it's probably going to be some big woodworking projects when that happens. I mean, a cooking vlog is something that could happen anytime. It's just one of those. I feel like doing a cooking vlog. That's how that usually works, Tracy. And so, yeah, there will be more. I don't have any planned, but that doesn't mean anything. I could suddenly get inspired tomorrow and do one. So, yes, the other Breck is here. How are you? Stew sounds really good, actually. Yeah, sometimes that's all it takes to trigger a cooking vlog too. Is just put the idea of something that sounds good to me. It's like, oh yeah, that would be good. I've tried bread. I've not had really good luck with bread. Yeah, it's cold here too, Breck. I hate it when my computer acts up. Fortunately, the new one doesn't act up very much. Truth is, I'd be in trouble if my laptop ever failed on me because that's the only way I really have of doing a good live stream. Yeah, I could do one with a cell phone, but I don't think I get the same video quality out of that. And I've never liked the camera on this phone. That's the one thing I've been dissatisfied with. Well, I mean, the phone itself. I switched to a new carrier when I got this phone, and this was the phone that came for free. And I mean, it's a Samsung Galaxy phone, but for some reason it's got a lot of like weird little bugs to it. It's not a very good camera. The doesn't go very not a very good phone actually. The volume isn't very loud, so even when you get it on speaker, you can barely hear it. The camera is horrible. It makes images look fake and artificial. It does horrible video. It's not even a good backup camera if when I'm out vlogging or something like that. It's a Galaxy. It's a Samsung Galaxy. But I don't, and that's what really blew me away because I've always been very happy with my Samsung Galaxies. I've had two or three of them, and it just I remember the first time I used this is I think I went to the Fourth of July party at McLean Stadium that the city of Waco does, and I shot a little bit of footage using that camera. And when I got home and looked at it, the footage was horrible. And I used to shoot photos of my rocks with this, and I thought the photos looked artificial. I ultimately ended up switching to my vlogging camera for shooting pictures of my rocks because that at least does a good job. I don't know. Okay, send me a bread recipe. I'd try it. I love good bread. I don't know iPhones. I'm an Android person. I'll definitely have to research because yeah, I think the reason I chose it is because it came free with the service, and so maybe it isn't their top of the line phone, but still, you think they'd put a decent camera in it. Yeah, that happens when the battery gets old. They don't hold a charge very well. That's usually the sign that it's time to get a new one. Well, I'll tell you, there's one reason and one reason only I go with the Samsung Galaxy, and that's there's an app that's available on the Samsung Galaxy that is not available on Android or on iPhone, and that is this application here. This is called Google Sky, and there's kind of a pale equivalent on Apple iPhone, but it is not the same app and doesn't work very well. And I love that one because I can use that one. And I can just point it at the sky and it tells me what I'm looking at. Yeah, I think when the next time when I swap out the phone, I'm gonna do a little bit more research and not just say, oh, okay, this one's free, I'll take this one. It's a Samsung Galaxy, they're all good, right? Yeah, I don't know, and maybe this one was just a lemon or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, I've tried a couple of apps like that, but it does not compare to this app. It may be all right, but like I said, this the thing on here is it's a live app, so you can just you point at the sky like you're shooting film or like you're shooting video, and it just says, "Yeah, okay, that's there, that's there." I look at something, it's like, "Oh, what's that bright dot in the sky? Oh, that's Jupiter." Yeah, that's usually a good sign. It's time to swap out your phone. It's not charging. I mean, that's pretty much the end. Okay, well, I mean, I got to admit, I haven't looked at one in a while, Breck. Maybe they finally got one that works. Last time I checked, and I got to admit, it was a while. So maybe it wasn't a fair comparison, but that's why I'm on Android. Because even if they have it now, I'm used to Android. So I wonder if Sky Tonight is available in Android. Be interesting. Let's see, because I agree. You say you haven't looked at it, but maybe I can AB them here. Okay, it's there. Let's install it. I'll look at it and maybe we'll give it a review. Okay, yeah, I guess I heard it's about stuff like that with apps that'll track plane motion. Are you Apple or Android, Susan? Okay, let's see here. Sky tonight. All right, we're loading it here. Let's see what happens. Loading it for the first time. Use device location. Oh, it's for sale. I don't know. I'm going to look at that a little later because I don't want to sit there on the live stream and try and figure out what's going on. Yeah, I'd still like to get a telescope. It would be fun. I haven't really thought about it, much beyond that. There was this one that they were talking about um, that I was really intrigued with the idea. It wasn't so much a um, looking at the sky and stuff like that. It was more about photographing. It was basically a camera on a telescope, and I thought that cool. Take some great photos. I haven't heard about Wendy's shutting down or closing. So could be. I mean, maybe they're consolidating a little bit. I like Wendy's though. Well, Breck seems to recommend that software. What Sky Tonight? I just looked at it and downloaded it. So go search that on your app store and check that out and see what you think. Like I said, I've installed it on my phone. I'm gonna get it configured, see if I can run it without having to pay for it. That's one of the things I like about the one that I have, the what's it called, Sky Map, I think, or Google Sky or whatever it is. Okay, get out of my way, jeez. Yeah, Sky Map is what mine's called. I think it said it was like $10 for the lifetime use. 9.99, I think, is the number they were saying. I don't know. I want to look at it, see, they were calling it their premium service. It's like, well, maybe I don't need the premium service. Just let me look at the free stuff. But I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time trying to figure out how to get past the premium page. So I'll look at it when the live stream's over, and maybe next week we'll give a little review. I don't know. I just have this thing about paying for apps. I mean, I know. I guess the trade-off is that I end up watching a bunch of ads, but I especially am not, fond of these, auto resubscription kind of things where they just reach into your bank account all willy nilly and take money when they think they need it. Uh, you know, Unfortunately, I've had to kind of settle for that because when I built the Beast back here, I finally decided it was time to get the latest version of Photoshop. And unfortunately, you can't buy Photoshop or any of the Adobe products outright anymore. You have to subscribe to them. Everything's subscription now. So when I got that, I ended up going with the Adobe subscription, and it comes with all sorts of software, including Photoshop, and it has Premiere, which is what I'm using right now for editing my videos. So all my videos are being done in Premiere now. It gives me some additional capabilities that I'll play with a little bit at some point. But it also comes with a whole bunch of other apps that I haven't even looked at. There's supposedly an animation app that I'd like to really take a look at that I've downloaded and installed. I just haven't really played with it that much. Yeah, I don't think Wendy's is going under. They're probably just closing some unprofitable stores or something like that. I just heard that the Outback Steakhouse that was here in Waco went under. That's too bad. Although I got to admit, I've never been to it while I've been here. I've been to Outback a couple times though. It's a good place. Kind of wish I'd gone now. It's funny, a couple of the restaurants because the first couple months I was here when I didn't even have a kitchen or much food or anything in the house because I'd even unpacked the pods yet, and ended up going out to eat a lot. A lot of the places I'd go to eat have closed. There was a Fuddruckers that was kind of close to where I lived in the apartment. That's closed. There was an Applebee's. That place is closed. I don't know. They're going under pretty quick here. I even had someone tell me yesterday that the local Texas Roadhouse went under. What was the steakhouse that I did a vlog on? Trying to think which one that was. I mean, there was a Cheddar Scratch Kitchen. I've got a frog in my throat here. Thanks for stopping in, Tracy. Good talking to you. Texas Roadhouse. Yeah, I don't remember. Did I do a vlog there? Because I remember I only went a couple times. I went once um, when early on when I'd just done one of the moves of the pods from Temple back to the storage locker here, And I was so hungry that night, and I am so dehydrated from the work that I basically got home, took a shower, and then went out and just gorged myself at the Texas Roadhouse. And then the only other time I did it was one of the times Jordan was here, and it was when he had just hit 100,000 subscribers, and I kind of took him out to dinner to celebrate. I mean, maybe I did vlog it. I don't know. I mean, both times I've been there, it was the place was packed. I mean, the time I went with Jordan, we had to wait, I think, 30 minutes to get in. I'm trying to think what other place it was, because the Cheddar Scratch Kitchen that I went, that wasn't very full. I mean, it was probably about half full. Yeah, I don't know. That might be it. I don't remember doing a vlog on that, but maybe I did. Mhm. I haven't been in a Chuck E. Cheese probably since I was 15. There is one here, but I mean, Chuck E. Cheese was always about the games. It wasn't about the pizza. I seem to remember the pizza kind of sucked. Reminded me of the pizza they served in elementary school. I've heard of Red Robin. I'm not sure if there's one here. I don't know. Let me look. Red Robin. Okay, let's see. Doesn't look like there's one close. It's a 55-minute drive. So, yeah, we're probably not going to be going to Red Robin. I've heard of it. No, I'll do some more. I assume by garden you mean the planter, or do you mean the garden? Longhorn Steakhouse. Yeah, I do think I went there. Right? Where's that? I gotta refresh my memory here. I'm sorry, I'm old. My memory ain't what it used to be. Longhorn Steakhouse. Okay, okay, yeah. Did I go there? I don't know. Maybe I did. Yeah, I think maybe I did. Now that I think about it. And I think that's being generous, Gene. The planner, no. This is actually the ideal time to work on the planner. I haven't been able to do it a lot in the past couple of weeks because we got so much rain and it just turned it into a mud puddle there. But it's getting to the point where it's dry enough to be in there again. And what I'm doing right now is I'm kind of getting ready to start putting the bricks around the backside. And what I have to do is move the sprinkler heads because I got to pull them inside the brick parameter or brick perimeter, and then build them up so that they can be, basically, so I can, tie onto it when the time comes to start, assembling the sprinkler system in there. So yeah, it's the perfect time because it's not too hot. It's really miserable being out there when it's hot. Mouse pizza. Yeah, it wouldn't really be the end of the world if Chuck E. Cheese went under. Well, I'd want to plant them in the spring. I don't know. I'm hoping I'll be ready this spring, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Like I said, this just might be a multi-year project. I kind of enjoy doing it though, so it's nice. It's nice having something to do. And if it takes me another year to get it done, then so be it. Well, like I said, last time I went to a Chuck E. Cheese, I think it was like 15 or something like that. And at that point, it was more about the games and stuff like that than the pizza. But the second I got over the games, we never went back. Yeah, maybe we'll start the garden again this year or next year. And that's really the purpose of Chuck E. Cheese. But at the time, Chuck E. Cheese, I think, was kind of an innovator because it was really the first restaurant that kind of set itself up, for being designed for kids to be fun for kids versus the adults. It was shortly after that McDonald's started doing its playgrounds on all over the place. You start seeing a little bit more of that. Maybe they just didn't innovate and keep up well enough. Yeah, but it's a project that he can just do a little bit at a time, John, and that uh, kind of makes it get to the point where it's not that much of a or that hard of a project. Doesn't seem that big of a project when you're doing it a little bit at a time. It just kind of makes it enjoyable. Yeah, I like Toys R Us too. I remember every year for our birthday and for Christmas, our grandparents would give us money, and first thing we do is go to Toys R Us. Yeah, they had everything. No, I haven't talked to Jordan since the wedding, but I'm sure he's got a lot going on right now. A lot more important things to do than talk to me. Yeah, the pool area was huge. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I saw that one. That one looked interesting. I might have to watch that one too. Yeah, Scott Michaels was there. I saw him. So windy outside. That's what's gonna make it cold. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me that that Scott would know Captain Todd. You know, I don't think I ever saw the movie Unsinkable Molly Brown, but I at least know the story. Oh, by the way, look who's back. Problem is, I got to get the. I like to lean back on the couch when I'm doing the live streams. It's just more comfortable, better on my back. Unfortunately, I got kind of limited, distance that I can see clearly on the screen with my reading glasses. I'm like blind like this. I can see the words over there, but you know. Oh yes, this again. See, that's what makes Jordan's vlog so good, though, is because he does his research and he knows all sorts of great details about whatever subject he does. And I know how that works too, because I've seen him do it. Oh, and you combine Jordan's knowledge of all the subjects he does vlogs on. You combine that with the fact that he's just somebody that can, reach out and start up a conversation with anybody, and just he's just that kind of personality, and that works really well in this because it enables him. A lot of times, uh, it's just it. A lot of the stuff, he doesn't necessarily go in and it's planned to work out that way. It's just a lot of times it's like, oh yeah, here's an opportunity that just dropped in our lap because he happened to be here with a camera. Oh hey, here's somebody that knows somebody that could get you in contact with this person that you're talking about. I mean, how many celebrities has he had on his vlogs? I mean, it's crazy. I didn't see that one, but I would probably pull that one out too. No, he's a really genuine person. He's really easy to get along with. He is just exactly like you see him on his vlogs. And see, that makes it easy for him to strike up conversations and friendships with people too. Well, Jordan and I have been through a lot together. Because I remember him when he was just, a starving musician delivering food in the middle of the night, taking whatever job he could get to just keep this little dive of an apartment he lived in over his head. But he did it. And then the entire time I've known him, he's always been wanted to be some sort of a performer. First it was music, then it was acting, and then finally it turned into vlogging. That's just he's an entertainer. That's all there is to it. Oh yes, I've seen him do it, Gene. A lot of, I mean, early on, I was in a lot of those vlogs. I was generally the driver. I would drive us to wherever we were going. And while I was driving, he was always, on his phone, watching videos that other people had done, reading stories and articles about whatever it is that, was going to be the subject. So he had all sorts of information. And it'd be funny, he'd just be sitting there and all of a sudden you start laughing and he'd tell me this story that he just read. And that ends up in the vlog. I got to see all sorts of cool things. Always wanted to go see the Winchester Mystery House. That happened because of him. been to Michael Jackson's house because of him. I've been to the Army Navy surplus store in Falling Down uh, because I went with him. Wayne's World filming locations, the record store, the the diner that they got the donuts in. Both those places are there. Spawn Ranch, where the Mansons were hanging out. I still can't believe I was ever there. Sat in some of the places the Mansons. But there's these famous pictures of of like this cave that was right down, kind of just down the gully from where the ranch was, and I've sat in that cave. Yeah, and it always started off with him walking jaw. Heck, I have a piece of the wallpaper from Tina Turner's house right before they tore it down. That was actually a big advantage to that too. I was glad that I could help a little bit. I mean, you remember there for a while, I was like doing daily live streams during the lockdown. I think I rattled off some of my favorite ones, but yeah, I mean, I don't know, there were so many of them. But he also tended to invite me along on vlogs that he knew I'd enjoy being a part of. Because I remember, there's one time I went to his apartment, and he says, "Well, I got two ideas for a vlog today, um, and I'll let you choose which one it is." And I mean, I know he knew which one I was going to choose because one of them was some story about some obscure 1930s actor that I'd never heard of, and probably only Jordan knew of. Or we could go to the record store where Wayne bought that guitar in Wayne's World. And it's like, dude, you know what I'm going to say to that. What's worse than a Japanese potato chip, though, is I ate a habanero pepper on a live stream. I really appreciate the longtime viewers too. So many of you that I'm looking at, seeing your names, you're here every week on the live streams, or you've, you know, been a part of the live stream, uh, you know, from way back and stopped and then came back again. It's just, it's really kind of humbling that everyone keeps coming back and watching this. But as long as you keep watching, I'll keep vlogging. It's 12:11 right now, Yvonne. Little afternoon. I hate it when I feel icky. And see, that's another part of these live streams I have. It isn't just between me and you. I like the fact that you guys talk to each other on these things. These little side conversations I have nothing to do with. Without the cocktails. Yeah, well, now that my parents are gone, you guys are like my family. I'm kind of the same way, Yvonne. I'm an introvert. That's why I'm way more comfortable talking to my laptop than interacting with people in real life. Just me and my kitty cat. Hey, Mark. Yeah, there we go. Introverts of the world unite. Well, the truth is, this vlogging has been good for me too because I was way more introverted before I started doing this. I mean, you remember me as just that guy that stood behind Jordan all the time while he was doing his vlogs and rarely said anything. I kind of found my voice doing this, and it's helped me in other parts of my life too. It's helped me, I think, in part be better at what I do at work because I interact with people better now. But I still prefer to be alone. Plus the fact I got to deal with people all the time, all day at work anyway. Lots of people, and now that I'm a lead, it's even worse because now every time that someone has a problem, he's like, "Oh, Brett, come in here." It's like, "Oh crap, I just want to be left alone." But that's my job. Well, the fact that I have a good job that pays me a good salary, it means I can afford to be alone. I can withdraw into my house, withdraw into my backyard, do whatever I want, and Everyone just has to leave me alone. How awesome is that? Well, when I first started vlogging, I was terrified of the idea. You know, I wasn't necessarily afraid of, you know, the physical part of doing it. It's just I hated the sound of my voice on camera. I didn't, the idea of me shooting video of myself, you know, that scared the heck out of me. That's why it took Jordan so long to be able to talk me into doing it. I have, yeah, I do. I do have a kneading tool in my mixer. So yeah, I could do that. Yeah, no, I know what you meant though. Oh, there's no question about that. The video at work would never have come to pass. I'm still waiting for the boss to do something with it, but he has the final product, and he's very excited about the next project. I'm a little afraid of the script because that one's going to be more complicated because the last video was just an instruction video on how to use a tool that we use for tracking daily production. And it isn't based on any operating procedures or anything like that. This next thing is very, very closely regulated by procedures. And so I'm going to have to be very precise in my wording and the way I describe this. Other than that, it's going to be, going to be I don't know. Once I get the script done, the rest of it will come together. But it's the script that scares me a little because, like I said, it's got to be perfect. Perfect. Well, you're the ones that choose to be here, so I would say that you've adopted me because there's nothing I can do if I if I want you to be here and you don't want to be here. There's nothing I can do about that. The only thing I can do to control, you know, what happens is if I press the little button down there, it says end the stream. Yeah, no, you adopted me because you choose to be here. You don't have to be. The first training video is complete. The boss has it. It's been a weird week. Yesterday was the weirdest day ever at work because literally half the department either called in sick or was on vacation. We had, we couldn't run all the lines yesterday because we didn't have people to run them. In fact, we were one person away from having to shut down the department. There was one person that if that person hadn't have been there that day yesterday, we couldn't have run. It's just that's all there was to it. I've never seen that happen. My boss said he's never seen that happen. I mean, it's not uncommon on the last day of the week that a couple people call in, especially when we're going into the short week like this is, a short weekend. People like that 4 day weekend, and if it's a 3 day weekend, they'll sometimes take that Saturday off. And there's a few people that play their vacation days and sick days like an instrument. They'll keep exact calculations. How many sick days do I have left? Oh, I got 2 sick days left. Okay, I'm going to take one tomorrow. And they just, like I said, they play it like an instrument. Well, relaxing, I think for me is a thing that kind of clears the mind and allows the ideas to flow. I can tell you all sorts of times where there's been some sort of problem that's been haunting me all day, and I can't figure it out. And I go to bed and I lay down, I close my eyes, and all of a sudden, oops, there's a solution. That happens all the time. Oh, I can see that too happening, Yvonne. When you're in the tub, you kind of relax, or so I've heard. I actually have a beautiful clawtooth bathtub in the master bathroom. I've never used it, but I get the same reaction in the shower. Yeah, the white noise. That's true. Yeah, exactly, Gene. That's actually a really good way to put it too. Yeah, I'm exactly the opposite, Yvonne. I can't have any noise. It's got to be quiet when I'm sleeping. And I don't like the light either. It's got to be dark. That's why I got the blackout curtains on the windows. Love the fact that I live in a neighborhood with no street lights, so it's dark at night. Ceiling fan, yeah, I have a ceiling fan going too. I used to be a person that didn't use the ceiling fan except when it was really, really hot. But I think ever since I moved here, I think it's just because, it tends to be a lot more humid here. I like having the ceiling fan on in the bedroom when I sleep at night. It makes it easier to, I don't know, makes it easy to sleep. So the ceiling fan's always on. In fact, I usually have the ceiling fan on when I do the live streams too. That one's usually off most of the time, but I do turn it on for the lives. Oh, I'm sure I can do the video and get it done. Like I said, it's just I've got to be so precise. There's going to be all sorts of approvals and reviews on this before we go forward. I mean, I showed the boss the script of the first video, and for the most part, he added like one little section, and that was it. But there's going to be a lot of people that are going to have their hands on this video. This isn't just going to be me and a camera and my boss saying, "Yep, do it." Yeah, well, the new video has been in the works almost from the time the first video came in. The boss said start with that one, but I want to do it this video too. And that the second video is the one he's really excited about because it's a process that has to be done the same way every time. And if it isn't done the same way, you're not going to necessarily get the same results. And it's very important that it be done right. But that video is going to have to start with me just reading the process over and over and over again, make sure I have it all figured out. No, I just do it during the day. There's periods where I have the opportunity to just sit down and work on it. Last video for the most part, with the exception of the editing, was done at work. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate the super chat. That's nice of you. Yeah, I'll tell you, I turned the news off about 4 years ago when I cut the cable. There's nobody out there that's just telling you what's happening. They're telling you what's happening and what you think they should, what they think you should think about it. And I'm not interested in hearing the TV reporters' opinions. So I just turn it off and go to sources I trust. Well, I could actually see this video thing. I think I've mentioned this before. I could see this spinning off into something else that might be entirely different from what I'm doing. I might just end up being the person that goes and shoots videos for the entire department, or even the entire company. I could see doing videos for other departments in the company. So I mean, hey, who knows where this could lead? There's all sorts of options here. I'm excited to see what comes of this. Nobody's seen the first video yet, and obviously the second video hasn't even been written, let alone shot. But it will be used for training at some point. Like I said, it's just been a weird couple of weeks, and we haven't had a chance to do it. But we are going to show it at one point. Yeah, but what exactly would I do with a claw tub bath and a vlog except take a bath in it? And what's that going to do? That's just going to get me blocked on YouTube. No, I think it'd be fun to do that kind of stuff because at heart, the person I am probably more than anything else is a trainer. I have, generations of teacher in me. And so I love doing that. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think that would be a very exciting video. I don't know about that. I'm not really disappointed in Donald Trump. Yeah, this one's pretty. This bathtub is pretty big too. Hey, bye. Yeah, well, I mean, the Democrats got to decide, what they're going to do. The Republicans just have a clean bill. It's called a continuing resolution. That means you continue spending as is. You don't add new spending to it. That's what the Democrats want to do. They want to throw an additional $1.5 trillion into the spending. And if they don't get their way, they're not going to let the government open up. Well, I mean, what happened? What in Virginia and New York and the other blowout, Jersey, I think. Uh, it's got to be you got to be expected. These are blue areas that all the red people, the red voters are leaving, and so it's just getting more and more concentrated Democrats there. And so yeah, those cities and states are going to have a hard time because all the productive people are going to leave. Well, I mean, I couldn't lay down in the tub, but yeah, I mean, I had a bathtub in the house in California. It was just a cheap tub, and it's probably half the size of this one, and I could fit in that one. So no, I've never sat in it and actually see if I would. Did you see that our governor said that he was going to do a 100% tariff on anybody moving to Texas from New York? Abbott and DeSantis are both great governors. Oh, I got a pretty good picture of what I want to do with videos. You know, the fact that I got 1,100 videos out and several hundred live streams out. The getting inspiration on how to do it, that's not the issue. You know, I already kind of have a picture in my head how I want to do this. Like I said, it's just working out the script and doing them. So, yeah, she's made her millions and millions of dollars investing in industries that she regulates. I read today that she's had a almost an 18,000% return on investment on her investments. They don't let the sports figures bet on the games they play, and why would we allow our 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 leaders to invest in companies that they're regulating? She's corrupt to the core. It's only illegal for some people, Yvonne. I think a lot of them should be in jail, including, unfortunately, all too many Republicans. Yeah, that's a corrupt crypt. That's even hard to say because you got three K sounds there. Corrupt crypt keeper. That is true, Yvonne. Halloween was good. I had oh, hey Darth, have you been here for a while? Or just I guess so. I just didn't. Sorry. Sometimes I read the comments, not necessarily the who it is that's making them. And all of a sudden, you ask a question. It's like, oh, Darth's there. Halloween was good. I had 72 kids. A lot of positive feedback from the neighbors, and I got rid of almost all my candy. So good things. No, I hope it's nothing serious. And that's all that matters, Yvonne. Okay, good. Nothing serious. Yeah, it happens. I figured you'd ask, Darth. Yes, I do have some new rocks. If you watched the last video where I rearranged my rock collection, you saw this piece. Uh, that was the one that triggered the whole reorganization because this had to go into a location that there was no longer room for it. So that was what triggered the whole uh, reorganization thing here. But that's a cool piece. Look at that. Massive. I like this piece. It's a pretty piece. And these two pieces are actually the same stuff. But as I was looking at them closely, they were different and different in appearance. And I said, "Oh man, I can't decide which one I like. Is it going to be this one, or is it going to be this one?" Get it in shot there, because I like this one. This one had like thinner triangular shaped pieces on it, where this one here like had more physical shaped triangles and squares and cubes and pentagons and stuff like that on it. And I thought, oh man, I don't know which one I want. I looked at the price and said, oh man, they're cheap. I'm taking them both. So yeah, that's what we did there. This one is the one that's on the cover photo for the live stream. That's pretty cool. A couple different things going on in there. That's a pretty one. I like these black lines that you see in the quartz. Or I don't know if that maybe that's not quartz, maybe that's citrine or something. Doesn't actually look like quartz. This is another amethyst that I kind of like, and it was kind of fun because it's just a little amethyst cluster, but it's got all these weird little discolorations in the tips. And when I got them, they weren't even sure what the discolorations were. So they just say it's an amethyst cluster with unknown inclusions, and it's like, okay, that's kind of cool. So yeah, that's a pretty piece. Nice addition to the collection. And I probably should have brought a black light for this one because this is a piece of fluorite that I thought was really pretty. And those little blue crystals you see in there, they glow green when you hit it with a black light. So that's a nice one. And then this piece here just seems really simple. Let me find that. This piece just seems really simple, just a little green rock, but it's fun because it's got these little holes in it. Let's get it rotate around here. And if you look in there, you're probably not seeing it that much. See, there's a little bit here too, but you can see a little sparkle in there because there's a little crystal action going on inside there. And so I thought that looked kind of cool. And so added that to my collection. So yeah, that's what I got this time, Darth. Breck did go to the wedding, yes. It was a beautiful wedding. A very small little affair. I don't think there was any more than like 30 people at the whole thing. This one glows under a black light. The blue crystals turn green. Yeah, and that's the truth, Suzanne. Definitely going to need a bigger house. I don't think the president went after Snap. The money, the Congress is responsible for appropriating funds. Trump can't do that. That would be completely unconstitutional. I mean, where's he going to pull the money from? Congress says, hey, we're going to spend this amount of money. Congress can fix this and only them. Plus, the thing that what Democrats are trying to want to do is they want to give SNAP benefits to able-bodied adults who just don't want to work. And the same with the healthcare thing too. All that we want to do is say, if you're going to get free healthcare and you're an able-bodied adult that doesn't have like dependent parents or offspring or anything like that, you're capable of working, but you just choose not to. You have to work in order to get benefits. That's only fair. Oh man, it's about to become real, Darth. Governor DeSantis is awesome, Spaniel Mom. Yeah, did you hear that Greg Abbott said he was going to impose 100% tariff on anyone relocating to Texas from New York as a result after the whole uh, Mondami thing. I don't know if he can do that, but see, I think some of the more conservative governors are picking up some things, from Trump. And one of the things Trump does, he trolls his opponents. And I think that's what Abbott's doing. I don't think he could get away. I don't think it'd be constitutional for him to tax New Yorkers, but it's still funny. It makes me laugh. Thanks for stopping in, Mark. Always good talking to you. Well, Donald Trump is like a laser pointer, and the Democrats are like a cat. And he just points it all over the place. And he's just breaking the Democrats. It's really funny because they're so insane right now, and just about everybody can see it. And even Biden's smarter than that. He'll follow the he'll follow the light around, but he's not going to chase it like a lunatic. Carvel, is that Clinton guy? What's he done this time? James Carville, is that what his name is? I don't know. It's funny. I hear from these old like Clinton mouthpieces from 30 years ago, and it's like they sound sane now compared to what the Democrats have turned into. And like I was saying, yeah, I like I said, I think that's just Abbott trolling Democrats. He's learned that from Trump. What's he done? What's Carville done? I mean, granted, I've been to work for the last couple of days, so maybe I missed it. Oh, I see him at the edge of the couch, so he's probably going to jump up here any second. Aren't you, Bite? He's like literally right down there right now looking at me. Come on, buddy. You gonna come up? We're waiting for you. Usually brushing the couch does and gets him up here. Yeah, told you. A lot of Hollywood people are just Trump derangement syndrome. They don't even know why. And I don't go watch very many movies at all these days. I can't stand any of the actors that are out there these days. They've made me hate them so much I don't want to see anything they're in. Oh yeah, Robert De Niro, he's the worst, right? And it's sad because he used to be a great actor. Work's doing good. Oh, yesterday was a day though. Holy cow. About half the department either called in sick or was on vacation. So we had lines shut down. We were one person away from having to shut down the entire department yesterday. If there was one person that hadn't showed up yesterday, we couldn't have run. So yeah, the boss was talking about whether it was senior ditch day or something like that. Thanks for stopping in, Gene. It was good talking to you. Always. I don't know. There's a request to give you a high five, but I'm not sure about the logistics of that. How would we do that? Well, yes and no. Yes, it's technically a holiday, but no, they aren't closing the facility down for the day. But anybody that works on that day will get like triple pay, and I'll get paid for that day, even though I'm not working. So that's kind of cool. I'm going to actually, I think, a Veterans Day parade going downtown Waco on Tuesday. I think I'm going to try and go see that and go and vlog that. Yeah, the only thing better is when it's a work day because, like I said, I clean up on that. I get triple pay for the day. No, no Top Gun 2 yet. One of these days, it's going to just be one of those things. I'm going to sit down and say, okay, it's time to watch it. But like I said before, I got to be in the mood for a Top Gun movie, or maybe I could watch Top Gun. You have an opinion on this? I know you haven't given me much feedback on the high five thing either. I don't know. Let's see if we can try this here. I have a thought. There's a paw. There we go. High five. I love Sundays for going rock shopping. I've been kind of plowing through Home Improvement on Netflix. I was never into the old Running Man. The book was good, but you're all thumbs today, Yvonne. No, he won't. He's a very tolerant cat, though. He's the only cat I've ever run into that doesn't have a problem with you messing with his feet. I mean, I'll grab both of his feet and we'll like dance sometimes. He just has no problem with it. A lot of cats, you touch their feet, they don't want they'll go crazy on you. Not him. Yeah, Route 666. I've always wanted to check that out. It's interesting. He's a little bit more adventuresome now after his sister passed away. If I leave the door open, he will actually go out and look around, see what's happening. It used to be the Nibble would be the one that would lead him out. Yeah, who better to laugh at than yourself? That's the whole point of being here, right? Is to laugh at yourself or make yourself the butt of the jokes so everybody else laughs at you. I mean, that's sort of what I'm doing here, right? Just beware that nobody sees you laughing at yourself, because if you're laughing all by yourself and you're not like watching TV, you're just laughing, people are going to think you're a lunatic. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about on this. Releases endorphins. All right. Well, I think I put in my 2 hours, so I'm going to pull the plug on this one, go into the bathroom and look in the mirror and laugh at myself. So thanks everyone for stopping by. Had a good time. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Good night.